Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel where today we are getting the Camaro ready for winter. Pretty much since my car is ceramic coated, I can get away with running it through an automatic car wash touchless just because the dirt doesn't really stick to it, and the automatic car washes do a really good job of getting the car clean without touching it. Every now and then I will go out to a place where I can wash the car by hand and give it a nice deep clean, but since we want to just quick clean wash to get dirt and stuff off before we throw the car cover. It's always important to get the car washed before you put a car cover on. You don't want the car cover sitting on there with dirt on the car. So as you can see, I'm going to coat the car in Bead Maker. It does already have Bead Maker on it, but I figured one more layer of protection before winter can't hurt. I'll put links to all the products that I've used in this video below. This also comes in handy as a drying agent. The car wasn't completely dry, and it did have a few spots from the automatic car wash that didn't completely wash off the vehicle. I like to place a good layer of Bead Maker down. Once you do apply a main Bead Maker layer, you don't really need to use as much as I'm using. And realistically, I didn't have to use this much anyway, but since it's winter and I'm not going to be using any anytime soon, I just kind of laid it on pretty thick all over the car. Misting as many areas as I could, get a nice layer down. Trying to do the hood and front first, as they were the warmest from the drive out to the car wash, so get that sprayed on and get it off as soon as possible. The front's always a pain on this car and any car because it's going to hold the most water in all the little areas of the grill and headlights, emblems, things like that. There's just always water pouring out of it. Once the car is all sprayed down, I like to get the door jambs. Pay no attention to the scuffs and cone marks on the lower rockers. If you own one of these Camaros, you gotta understand these lower rocker covers take quite a beating. I personally suggest getting them PPF'd if you want to keep those looking nice. I actually do have a spare pair that are freshly painted, that when I feel like it or sell it or trade it in, I'll throw the new rockers on. And then I'll also get the inside door jambs on the doors, getting all the water spots off, and just placing some Bead Maker on there as well. Realistically, in cases like this, it's just more of a drying agent. Not that people are really concerned about scratching their rockers or inside the doors, but whatever. Once that's all done, I'll move the inside, let the Bead Maker dry off, but get the interior vacuumed up, get all the loose material from all the race events, rocks, what have you, in the seats, back seat, front seat. I mean, I don't drive this thing a whole lot, but it's amazing all the little things you pick up at events. Once that's done, I use PNS's interior cleaner as well. I've used a few different ones. Adams makes a really good one. P&S also has a really good one. It depends on the kind of finish you're looking at. Personally, I like them both. It depends on the situation. Like in quick situations, I like Adams. It doesn't leave as much of a greasy residue as the P&S interior cleaner, but both do a very good job. Since I'm having the car sit around, I figured I would use the P&S stuff, place a nice protective film over the car interior, and go from there. Next step in the cleaning process is the suede or Alcantara pieces. I use the Sonax cleaner, works really well, and then I picked up this brush from Obsessed Garage. I like to place the Sonax directly on the brush because it's easier to place in the areas that you want to clean on the car itself. If you try and use it on the brush, it works, or not on the brush, on the piece, it works, but you have to be a little more careful not to get it anywhere. I mean, it won't hurt your plastics or anything, but it's just easier to get the stuff directly on the area you're cleaning. I like to apply it to the areas I'm touching with my hands. It normally works around the front and the back. High touch points basically is what you want to get. And I'll start by applying it and using my wrist to twist the areas to bring the fibers back up. If I'm doing this during the weekdays when I'm driving the car, a lot of times I will do it at night to allow the Sonax to dry or evaporate off the suede. Normally when you come in the next morning, it's 100% ready to go and looks somewhat like new again. Once that's all done, I'll go to the interior, and I like to place dryer sheets in the interior. A little trick I use, learned from storing cars in barns that have rodents. It helps keep them away, and then also keeps the car nice and fresh. After that, I move under the hood, where I'll clean the areas that are dusty, and especially on this car, they get so dusty with the heat extraction vents. But I generally use all-purpose cleaner. I have this Jay Leno's Garage all-purpose cleaner that works really well, but I'm sure you could use something from household stores like Target or something like that. The underside of this hood gets really dusty with pollen and not so much dirt, but just pollen and fragments everywhere. So I just like to clean that off and get the engine, bay cleaned up. Now once the engine bay is clean, I like to use tire shine. I'll spray it directly onto a towel to give all the stuff, all the plastics under the hood, a nice shine to them. I just spray it directly to the towel, not onto the parts themselves. And I'll just kind of go over all the plastics that I want to get shined up. So I'll do the valve cover, the intake, and then also I'll go over, sometimes I'll go over the intake hose and things like that, but that just holds a lot of dirt in all those perforated areas. So fuse box cover gets covered, and it's not something you need to do, it's just something I like to do to make the under hood pop a little more. So once all that's done, now it's time for the car cover. Car cover, pretty straightforward, just kind of goes over. There's only one way you can put it on with the mirrors and things like that. Goes pretty smooth, and once it's on, the car is ready to sit for a few months. I don't have any concerns about the tires flat spotting in the winter. If I did, I would get those, but these tires don't last very long, and I'll probably have to get new tires in the middle of next summer anyway. Well, everyone, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. It'll pretty much be it for me, car related, till next spring. So take care, everyone. Have a good winter.